everyone, and welcome to GameSpot's programming at Summer Game Fest 2024. We already had Jeff's play showcase yesterday. We saw a bunch of awesome games, and throughout the weekend, GameSpot and our friends at Giant Bomb will be showing, will be demoing, talking to developers, hanging out, so make sure you stay tuned all weekend. Today we've got a bunch of awesome games on the couch, and we're kicking off with Path of Exile 2 on console. So joining myself and Kurt and Davina, we have Trevor Game On. Welcome. You are you're the game director of the console version, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. What have you brought with you today?
So we've brought a short demo for us to play. It's further into the game, so it's going to be a bit more challenging, and we may die. But yeah, we thought we'd demo a bit of couch co-op.
Yes,
together.
And I'm very honored to be the one that's sharing the sofa and doing cool stuff.
I was going to say, so you guys are both going to be playing. Should we just jump right in?
Sure, yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
I'm
You
ready to be fantastic with cool kill stuff. So.
Okay.
Or in the case of be killed.
Yeah. So obviously we're in the front end of the game here. For couch co-op, you basically need two controllers, and in this scenario we're playing with one account. But it is possible to actually split the account, so two people can log in, use their own characters, their own features that they actually bought, their equipment, and play with their own characters.
What's the character build? Are we picking from classes in this case?
So in the case of this demo, we're playing specifically with the monk, which is a melee-based character, very fast-paced, very agile, and the ranger is missile-based. A lot of area of effect and sort of controlling mobs.
Cool.
So,
all right.
in total, there's going to be 12 classes that you can play. Select from.
So we're good to go.
Good to go.
Yes.
So press hold, and we're in.
So can we talk a little bit about the journey to getting Path of Exile 2 to console?
So basically the goal was to actually, sorry, it looks like we're having a bit of a technical issue there with the server. Oh, here we go, we're in. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the journey to get here has been along the lines of just basically we wanted to make sure that we release at the same time, because we're looking at a game that's we want it to be like cross-platform, cross-progression. So we needed to make sure that it was delivered at the same time. So our beta release in November is basically going to be console and PC.
Amazing.
So.
All right.
Okay.
So this is I get to. Oh my god. Holy shit.
So yeah. So
Okay.
I've got a variety of kind of skills that can kind of allow me to approach enemies quickly, or actually kind of defensively retreat from. So, I can lay this kind of ice here, and it's like an ice bomb. It's called Frozen Locust.
Yeah.
So you place that, and it's about a timing. So basically, if a boss is taking a swing, I can drop the locust and it hits it, and it kind of has a kind of reactive skill.
Yeah. So I mean, I had a little, like a few seconds to play this game before we went in. So if it looks like I'm really good, it's because I am.
You're just a natural.
Yeah. But there was something very
So you can see I've collected a power charge there, that blue orb. So basically, as I collect power charges with one of my skills, I can then do boosted attacks. So I've got to wait for kind of a moment to actually grab a power charge, and then I use it and do a big slam like that. So.
And this is also randomly generated, correct?
Yeah, so every time you return to an
Oh my
instant-
god, what the? Okay, hold on.
They're pretty dangerous.
I'm already about to die. Oh, there's health. Yeah, flask, okay.
Yeah, so it can get pretty intense.
This is so hairy, and we only just started.
Yeah, couch co-op adds a whole level of kind of chaos to it on top of the single player game as well, so it's kind of fun.
So you're saying things are procedurally generated, so...
Yeah, each environment is generated each time, so we've got a kind of a cell-based system where we can sort of generate a map in different different orders, different directions. The storyline and the content's still the same, but each time you kind of return, it's just a different experience.
Something fresh every time.
Yeah, fresh every time.
Don't mind me, I'm pulling the aggro, so if I get us killed, I apologize.
I was enjoying the fact that you really had a game face on that. You are locked in, you are leaning forward.
All right.
So how far into the game is this demo that you're playing right now?
So this is Act 2, but it's quite far into Act 2. So it's not super late, but enough to be pretty intense, like gameplay. So.
And then a bunch of stuff to be unlocked in.
Yeah, we've unlocked a fair amount of skills here, so we've got a kind of combination of skills that kind of work pretty well together.
Like, what's this Monkey Man doing? I felt, okay, he's just like...
So that guy there, I just picked up the power charge from.
Okay.
So.
He was just like coming on in. He's like, "Where's the bathroom?" And I'm just electrocuting him with my lightning. Oh my God, these things!
Yeah, the bats are pretty dangerous.
So there is right now, because I'm a pro gamer, I have several area of attacks, or that I have. Like there's this poison one that you kind of told me about.
Yeah, so you've got a kind of a lightning combo. You've got a lightning rod, so you can lay down lightning rods, and then when you use your lightning arrow, it kind of sort of basically allows you to chain the lightning to enemies in the area of the lightning rods.
And that's when you can kind of like fly in and get the orbs.
So if an enemy has a lightning ailment, I actually have a skill that allows me to suck the lightning off of them and gives me power charges. So that's where we've got this kind of synergy between the characters.
What are the challenges of taking a game like Path of Exile and putting it on console compared to PC? That feels like a big question.
It's a big question. I mean, it has its own challenges. The main thing, like, we have a very solid foundation to work with the PC game. But with regards to console, we didn't really want to approach it as just a port. We actually want to kind of give it its own UI and user experience completely different. So, we've got sort of separate menus. Might distract you a little bit with the menus.
No, let her rip. I got you covered.
I'll show you those in a second.
No, I can protect you. You can organize your inventory and take a nice breather. It's fine.
Yeah. So. We have full screen menus with the console as well, but specifically for Couch Co-op, we added panels, so it allows you to both be able to do it at the same time and manipulate your own inventory. I can see you're the loot ninja of the two of us.
Hey, how you doing?
Wow.
Grabbing stuff. So yeah, basically, we don't want to stop one player from playing while the other player's doing that, and it is possible for one player to drag the other player around whilst I'm just busy doing my inventory. And you have access on the panel version. You have access to your skills.
Oh, very good.
You've got the actual kind of character stats.
Oh, very good.
And also our notorious passive skill tree. So you have access to that.
What is going? Wait, what is that? What are words?
Yeah, so Path of Exile is pretty famous for its complex skill tree. It allows you to develop any variety of build. Can be very experimental with what you want to do with it. It is possible. Just to kind of warn you, I'm going to go full screen here, but from this menu, you can actually go full screen, so you can see everything. Yeah, it gives you an idea of the complexity of and depth of the actual game. It can be terrifying to some people, but once you get to
but this could also be like a freak's dream, of being able to go through this and be so meticulous and come up with the wackiest builds imaginable.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much replayability. You also have we kind of provide.
You did this for 12 classes.
12 classes,
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's there's a lot of depth and a lot of replayability in the game.
Okay.
And also, it's a lot of fun. I think I mentioned in a previous interview that the Couch Co-op was initially just an experiment.
Wow.
And it's just really is just integral to the game now. People like playing in the office. So.
Yeah, what is that like? The the sort of the culture of making a game that encourages couch co-op and to have your team play it and enjoy it and create those stories together.
I mean, honestly, I had to, because everyone in the office obviously plays it on mouse and keyboard, so it's taken a bit of time to convince people to play on a controller, and I'm winning people over. And I think this week I've been fairly successful at winning some people over as well. Several streamers have commented about how much they enjoyed it. So.
That must be really gratifying for you, because this is,
Yeah, I was slightly nervous, to be quite honest, bringing a console version, primarily because people do play mouse and keyboard traditionally, but I think the team's done such a great job with the controls and everything that it feels really natural to play. And the twin stick controls really makes a difference as well. It was introduced as WASD controls on PC, but with the twin stick you actually have much finer control with targeting. Just grab that and hit these guys.
So when you were bringing up the menu full screen earlier, is there a way Not that I'm thinking that I am a griefer, but I guess you could kind of like annoy your pals by doing that, I guess. Have you got any safeguards in place to stop you from griefing your couch co-op companion?
What do you mean by safeguards? Like,
As in, like, you know, not to abuse the system to bring something up full screen and annoy the person you're playing.
I mean,
Can you tell I'm the
I would
younger
say
sibling?
our development team's fairly light on our feet with regards to kind of like if there is a system that can be abused, we generally kind of try and react to that and try and kind of make it so it can't be abused or restrict it to some extent because you still don't want to lose the fun.
Yeah.
Like, so.
I love these pussy poison pods that I can. I just want to decorate with them. But like, I have an array of moves, and I feel like I'm not using them as much as I want to be using them just yet. But like, I know there's like this ice thing, which I'm assuming
Yeah,
like
so
kind of slow them down.
That's to slow them down, but it's also more of a retreat thing. It's a kind of reactionary thing.
To push back.
So if
yeah.
you've got guys coming towards you, you can just slam that down and it retreats you back.
Run.
It actually works really quite well in tight spots. If I was behind you, you can actually retreat behind me. It like jumps you over the back, over the top of me. So.
Interesting.
So
okay.
like it's kind of like just in those kind of scenarios. So like, if the melee guy is behind, then you can kind of charge through. Yeah, so you had the lightning rod and the lightning arrow. Those can be used in combination. And like I said, I've got like the siphoning strike, this one. So if I see an enemy that has got lightning ailment, I can then
like,
siphon that and then use the power myself for my own strikes.
That's super cool.
You mentioned like your kind of poison pods. So like when you actually kind of lay down those in combination with that, if you have mobs in the area, you hit them with your poison sour arrows. It actually triggers those to explode at a certain time.
Okay. Brilliant. Cool.
And then you've got another.
There we go. I see.
Yeah, you got another toxic one on your trigger, I think it is, which is
the ice
basically
one.
you got the ice one, and you've got.
What am I doing?
Oh no. Well,
It's okay.
you can buy that. But basically, there's one for controlling mob speed. You drop a pod, and it basically fires out tentacles and slows them down.
Okay.
So, but we've been killing them pretty quick, so it hasn't really been an issue.
Yeah, we
Oh, this room can be fun. Yeah, should we give this a shot?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay, all right. So I suggest you get out as soon as they start moving.
Yes, let's go. Yes. Oh, this is wonderful. This is the
So I want to
the
get as
chaos
many
that I
charges
want.
as I can.
Oh wait, this is when I can use my
I want to get my charges,
retreat
and then I want to hit them with a decent-sized slam. Yeah,
and then it just like chains together, and it's like, oh my god,
yeah. So it's there's still lots more in here.
sweet.
I was going to say, you're making short work.
Rock.
Yeah, they're reasonably weak, but like there's a lot of them. So
Yeah. Trevor, how long have you been working on Path of Exile?
I joined the team 2016. I am still kind of working on the mobile game as well, but yeah, resources are needed where they're needed, and like they asked me and my team to work on the console version to kind of get it in line with the PC state, so we can release at the same time, like later this year. So I feel like I want to hand this over to you so you can have a play. So.
I'm down. But no, I mean, I'm just kind of watching you two and fielding the questions, because I think it's also really interesting where it's like, I mean, the community reaction to it, how's that been? Because obviously there's been a lot of excitement. You announced 2 a while ago, and then like you're saying all the right things, which is really kind of refreshing for developers. It's like, you know, the way that microtransactions work, and the fact that you're still going to be supporting the first game and cross-platform and console version to get everyone in.
I mean, honestly, it's the company director's ethics is why I'm there. It's like, it was refreshing to me to actually hear that. So I was keen to kind of work with them, especially on a mobile game as well that's kind of free to play. In parallel to, and get the opportunity to actually work on the console one as well was great. So.
I mean, it's also, I find the journey of Path of Exile interesting in general because, like, you had mentioned that the game originally kind of went out for in 2010 and didn't really get an official release until 2012.
Yeah, it kind of went through an alpha
Yeah.
stage. I actually met Jonathan and Chris back then, sort of back in the early days, and was just kind of met them just to have a chat with them.
Yeah, and it wasn't, and then it wasn't until several years later, which I finally came to console, and then then there was a gap even between like Xbox and PS4. Yeah. So it's really.
That's why we're kind of determined this time to release them all at the same time. Full cross progression, cross play across all of them, so you can just jump between them as much as you want.
So where are we heading? All right, so we went through here. We partied with these Are they clay men? Are they made of clay? Or are they
statues? Yeah.
Statue men. that's what I call all statues. Okay. But yeah, it's like really it's like Path of Exile is this like thing that's like I've always like known as existed and has like kind of had its audience and its thing, and you got to like see it trickle out. Then it was like seeing the state of play was great, like really prominently like on PlayStation, you know, a console sort of showcase.
Yeah, and like we're still maintaining Path of Exile 1. We still release leagues every kind of 3 months or so, just to kind of keep people engaged, and you know, we obviously want to keep maintaining that and just keep having people having fun. So.
Oh, we came from here, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lead the way. I'll follow you, you monk, wise one.
All right. Let's try it that way.
Okay.
Was that a dead end?
What's kind of the hardest part about maintaining an audience for so long? You have a very engaged audience.
I think engaging with the audience.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, basically, you know, we enjoy the feedback we get from the players, and we quite often react to that with each league launch as well. It's just important, like, you know, they're playing the game and enjoying it, and we just want to make sure that they get the best experience. So.
Stay alive.
Are all the classes going to be available to start?
I believe we're aiming for 8 of the 12 classes.
Okay.
8 of the 12 is. I couldn't actually tell you what the ones are off the top of my head. But like, yeah, that's the aim for the beta launch later this year.
And what is it like also?
Okay, we're heading towards the boss.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Maybe I'll stop asking a difficult question.
We may die horribly.
Yes. This is the moment.
Not to sound pessimistic or anything, but
No.
he's tough.
It makes for interesting play. But it's not to ask a hard-hitting question. It's not really that hard-hitting. I was going to ask about, like, you know, when you're maintaining a first game and you're doing the second game, like, where's the balance in, like, honoring what the first one is, but still trying to make the second one its own thing?
I mean, we have deviated quite a lot from the original with regards to, like, you know, this game is very, I would say, like 50-50 skill-based.
Okay.
With regards to skill and stats. There is a lot of you know, to survive the game, you have to avoid a lot of the attacks.
Okay.
In the case here, we're pretty tough at this point. Yeah.
Okay.
In the case of this, just you know, we're a bit distracted with conversation as well. So.
We're killing it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you guys are doing great.
Let's get to the boss. Oh wait, we're dying. Did I die? I'm dead. Am I dead? I'm dead.
That's me.
No, oh my god, I'm alive.
Yeah, you're alive.
Oh my god. Okay, I can do this. I'm fine. I'm good. What do I do if can I get you back?
So you can revive me.
Okay.
You got to just make your way back over there.
I will do that.
Yeah, that was a. Yeah, he's going to be fairly tough, but you can do this.
I can do this.
I believe in you.
Yeah. No, this is.
You won't be able to revive me whilst he's there, though.
Okay, hold on. Let me take care of this.
So yeah, hit him. Try hit him with the lightning rod. Maybe a bit of the lightning arrows as well.
So like this combination here, and then like like that.
Now you're good.
Okay, good. Wow, get out of here, dude.
You're doing great, Kurt.
Thank you so much. Is my gamer face really good?
You are, yeah.
A gamer? Oh, I'm just gonna do it. I have enough.
You gonna try it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well done.
I believe in my team. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, these guys are blues as well, so they're pretty tough as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're out of mana as well.
Oh yeah, I can fill that up. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I really want to see you take on the
We
boss.
need to get to this boss. We need to get to this boss.
It's got to be coming up fairly soon.
Lovely.
It's the bridge that threw me. I thought the bridge was the boss.
And now we're just pushing.
Yeah.
Speed running.
This way.
Yes. I just want to see it. Are we here?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. That's a boss room if I've ever seen one.
So waypoint, your flasks are refreshed now. So
Brilliant. Wow, what a build up. Hello.
These are all yours.
The Forsaken
I'll stand
Sun.
back here.
So So what would be like, if let's work together. What should I be doing? What's our
Hit him
strategy?
with the lightning rod when he's
Okay.
electrocuted.
And you
like
go
that.
and you absorb
I'll
those
see if I can
powers.
siphon that.
Yep.
See, I got a power orb.
Brilliant.
But other
You're
than
doing pretty
that,
well.
it's generally just about surviving.
Oh, very good. That's
Okay,
nice move.
see if I can siphon him again. I got one.
Oh, and I can't. I'm assuming
So I can
wanna
hit him
push
with that.
there.
Yep, got a freeze on him, so I managed to
great.
stun him.
Very good.
There's one addition that we didn't have in Path of Exile was that we actually have a status, like you can actually put an ailment kind of status on him, and it kind of builds up over time. And once it hits the top, then that actually triggers.
Ooh, that was very good.
No, I think you guys are doing very well.
Yeah. Thank you, Lucy. We are doing so well.
Yeah.
I'm too British to be an actual cheerleader. I will give you
doing
words of
good.
support from over here.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine.
Yeah, it's getting pretty hot over there.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay.
Hit him.
Good,
Good
good,
freeze,
good,
good
good, good.
Yeah, so I saw his bar was pretty high, so I took the advantage.
How many players can play in co-op?
It's couch co-op, so there's only 2 of you, but we have got party play, and the intent, we intend to actually allow co-op players to play party play as well. So
Oh, boy. This is, we do not have a lot of ground to work with.
yeah, so I'm kind of in trouble now because I really don't want to go over there. So it's all on you. That's it. Bring him over here. Perfect.
Trying my best. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, you're chipping away at his health.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm willing to take.
I can drain that. Can I drain that?
Well done.
Yes, got one. Keep hit him with lightning. That's perfect.
Okay, okay.
Ouch.
That was
Got
nice.
the flames. Oh no.
So it looks like you have like a grace period on the flames.
Yeah, I managed to hit him with 1 orb.
I can't recommend that. Okay.
You've almost
Yeah,
got him.
it does damage over time, so my gamer face just switched on.
I know. I don't
Okay.
even care at this moment.
Okay, we nearly got him.
So close to the end.
Okay, hit him with 1 more.
Come on, come on.
Killing blow.
There we
Yes!
Yeah. So you got the blue orb on him, so I had a chance to hit him with the killing palm.
Oh my God, I'm just standing in fire. I was like, it
Yeah,
was
you should
like,
probably
it was
do
like,
Too busy high-fiving.
Well, Trevor, thank you so much for coming by and showing us Path of Exile 2 on console. You mentioned a beta earlier. Like, when are we looking at?
End of year, so yeah, TOG's November, and we're going to stick to it. So.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much again for coming on, and thank you all at home for watching. We've got plenty more coming up today, including Metaphor, Cairn, and plenty more. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to GameSpot's live show, GS Live. I'm your host, Cairn, and we are being joined by a couple cool people, Audrey and Emmerich, who are the developers of Cairn, and joining me also is one tomorrow who's
climbing enthusiast.
Yes, climbing enthusiast.
No, I've never climbed anything in my life.
We live in San Francisco, and it's going to get your newspaper, which is a thing that only I do. It requires a steep hill in which I get to the top of it, and my legs are shaking, and I scream at the top of my lungs, which is exactly what this trailer showed off that we got to see yesterday.
Yeah.
So way to go and welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So of course this is a much more mellow vibe than being on stage at Summer Game Fest. But what, I guess, like, for those who haven't seen the game, kick it off. Who wants to give the
elevator pitch.
The mountain climb pitch?
Can do that. So Cairn it's a climbing game, as you've seen. It's a game where you have to reach the summit of a mountain that nobody reached before. It's also a game about what it means to try such an ascent in terms of sacrifices and risks. And it's very, very unique and new. We call it a survival climber because there is parts of the mechanics are survival, but also the climbing is the challenge. Compared to other games where there was climbing, here the controller is unique and you are actually climbing pretty much anything in the game in a completely new way.
The first time I saw the trailer, you know, I already made a joke about it, but like the shaking limbs.
Yeah.
And like there's been climbing games like I feel that have come out. And there's been an array of them over the past few years, which is an interesting thing in of itself. But the one thing that your trailer did to me was like actually cause like almost like a visceral, stressful reaction.
It's a feeling of dread.
Yes, of like just watching this knee like just barely hold on to be able to get to the next step. And I don't know. It's just like it's very effective. I haven't even played it.
Yeah.
And actually, we have asked people to play it, of course. Like we did play tests, and they very quickly start to sweat. they get sweaty hands, and so I guess it translates well into the gameplay as well.
The one thing I want to ask about, and I noticed you keep saying mountain. Is it just one mountain that you climb, or is there like a series of challenges?
So there is like the big story mode. It's one adventure. There is a story and one big mountain to climb.
Right.
But then there is another game mode where you can ascend different, several other mountains without story and more like a...
Yeah, I find it fascinating that it's the single player part, or the story part of it is one specific mountain. It kind of speaks to a lot of the nuance and the intricacy of moving up that thing. It's not something it's not like a level that you complete in one shot and then move on with. So what is it along the way that kind of like resets it? Is it just simply a case of like you don't have the facilities to make it, or is it you're physically not capable, tools? How do you kind of have that progression to it?
If you die, you're pretty much...
Dead is definitely a stopper for it.
Yeah, but so in the game you have to manage your health, but also your hunger, thirst, cold, your resources, pittance. You have to rest when you need to, and you see your progression in the game. It's been shown, I think, in one of the videos in Day of the Dev that we've shown. You see your progress. You see where you've been. Where it was difficult, where it was easy, where you planted a piton, where you fell and fell and fell and fell, and then you can really see your own gameplay story, the thing that you wanna tell to your friends. That's where I'm playing, and because it's very open, it's really up to you to choose your route, and it's completely. We don't even know all the way to climb the mountain.
Oh,
it's
interesting.
so open that it's very hard in level design.
And it's also a very, very big mountain. So we have different hours.
Wow, that is...
Yeah. Are you a climber?
We're not actually climbers, both of us. But my dad was a mountain climber, but we have studied a lot. We have talked to a lot of specialists, some climbers, some people who have done.
actually like become a climber in the process of making the climbing game.
Actually, half of the team, has started climbing since we started the game, and
So really get the shaking.
Yeah, they understand. I think I've become very aware of all the techniques and vocabulary, but I still have to reach my first 8,000.
How did you, I imagine because you've spoken to a lot of climbers, was it a case of like translating kind of the mental challenges into gameplay mechanics? How do you approach that element of it? Because physically, I guess being reductive here, it's probably easier to translate that into video game mechanics than it is like the mental kind of challenges you face internally and struggling to keep that going. How did you work to do that?
Yeah, we spoke to one of the most famous women climber in the world who did several 8,000 ascents and who had a tragic, like her partner didn't make it through an ascent. And it was really, really inspiring to listen to her talking about that, talking about why she climbed and what she keeps climbing after that and what she's looking for. And that's what we wanted to talk about in the game. In our previous games, we were looking at freedom, living free in Fury, being able to love who you want in Haven. And now it's more, how do you achieve freedom by doing this kind of completely crazy ascent?
Yeah, it is putting yourself through some of the most rigorous challenges a human can face to try and find the kind of like burst through to find that freedom. That's really interesting. From a mechanical perspective, I don't want to assume how it's played. Can you explain how you physically move the character around? Is it just like, grabbing and...
Yeah, sure. So that's the unique twist of the game is you can climb everywhere because there is no animation system. It's all math. It's all just like biomechanics, and you control each limb. So left hand, right hand, and both legs. But it doesn't feel awkward because we found a cheat. The system decides which limb is going to move. So depending on if you have all your weight on one leg, obviously it's not going to take this one.
Right.
It's going to take the most interesting limb to move. So you just move your left stick and you press a button to grab or put your limb on the wall, and that's it. That's
fascinating. No animation system.
Yeah.
That's very unique. That's, I guess, something that distinguishes it from a lot of other climbing games or most games as well. Was that tricky to get to that point, to find that system?
3 years tricky.
3 years, wow, okay, yeah.
I mean, it seems like that's the spine of the game, like the ability to climb and move. There's also the segment where like you can do like push-ups. Is that something also like, not an animation-based thing? Like you're going to be like, how do you control that? Is that, are you going to be going up and down on a joystick to be able to push through?
No, so the push-ups is, you can stop at, create a bivouac, like a camp. And that's up to you. But when you do that, you have several things that you can do during camp. You can repair some of your gear. You can cook, which is basically boiling rice or noodles. And you can tape your fingers and also obviously sleep or wait for, some kind of a storm to pass. So during this sequence, if you choose to wait for a couple of hours, she's gonna keep training.
I wanted to ask something about it narratively, but first, the name, Cairn. What is it? Is it a French word? Is it a name? Is it a mountain? Is it a place? Can you say?
I think it's a French word, but I don't think it's only a French word. It's actually the name of those little piles of stones that climbers and people on the trek do to mark the fact that a human has been here, to show a path. It's also some form of sepulture that you can put on a grave. It has also a lot of religious connotation in Tibet or Nepal.
Right.
So it is an existing thing that you will find anywhere where humans have been in the mountain or in the wild.
So it's
say,
really
I've been
emblematic
here.
of people going someplace, of like going to unknown territory in a way that you can see like someone's been here by these.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
these
Going where people have never been and leaving a trace of it.
Yes, a testament to human achievement.
And it's something that was in our previous game. For each game, we had something in Fury in Haven where you leave your own trace. You say, "I've been there." It was in all the 3 games.
And like talking about like people and I don't believe the character speaks in the trailer. Just screams and grunts, and like the screams are like so guttural. They're so good. Like that's the main thing the trailer has like really shown off to me.
Great
like,
scream tech.
Yeah, it's great scream tech, great shaky limb tech. It's hitting on that like you're really. It's not just like a typical climbing game in the sense that, or it feels this way at least, where you're just like not overcoming an obstacle.
Yeah, it feels emotional.
It feels really emotional. Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy you're pointing to it because we actually have a very strong audio team. You know,
Awesome.
the people behind Fury and Heaven are working on Cairn, but we brought on some new talent. And we were like, with them, we were like, who do we want to do the audio of that game? Because the audio is going to be so important because you're behind your character on the face in front of a mountain for the whole game. So it has to sound great. It has to convey the gameplay, but also the emotions. And we're like, we should work with Martin Stig Andersen, who is the guy who did the audio of Limbo, Control, Inside.
I mean,
audio director.
Some of the best sound design in games, it's basically.
So we wrote to him and he said, yes, I have to do this game. I want to do it. And then we were like super happy. Yeah. And then like a few months later, he's like, we need reinforcement. And I'm thinking we should bring on Julian. And then we realized it's Julian who's worked on Cocoon on the audio design.
Wow,
So
wow, that is an
all-star
audio
sound audio. What is? Can you tell me about the person who does the voice? Like what that is like when you're like trying to get someone in a space, a mind, like a place to be able to like feel like you just climbed a mountain that you've probably been trying to climb like over and over again. Like what is that?
Well,
like?
it's actually a super fun story too because we have found an actress to play the character who is also doing all those effort sounds. We haven't revealed her name yet. We're going to talk about it later. She's also a composer. But and then we just brought her over to Copenhagen, where everybody is. All the team is in Denmark. The audio team is in Denmark, and she did like all those sessions, like grunting and shouting and doing push-ups. And we had to lock her in a room. And we actually had bars, you know, like the exercise bars to do push-ups. She was doing upside down. She was exhausted. She did such an amazing job because we need so much variation.
Yeah.
You don't realize it on a short trailer, but there is so many variations.
5,000 breathing sounds.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like, I feel like there's only so much you can do to get somebody in a room and be like, okay, I'm going to pump you up. You just climbed a mountain. You just overcame this stuff. Scream. But, like, knowing that there has to be, like, this physical, like, you need to go through this. You need to feel this.
Yeah. I guess returning to what Kurt touched on, how do you explore that narrative? Is it all mostly wordless and through those kind of, like, emotions? Or is there, like, you know, do you hear her reflect in her own mind? Or does she ever speak to anyone else? Or is it just...
Yeah, we tried to avoid her speaking to herself. We wanted at the beginning, and then we realized it was kind of weird sometimes. So she's breathing and screaming a lot, but then there is also a story part in the game, which is quite strong actually. And so she's gonna meet some characters along the way. The mountain is mostly a solitary place, but still she's gonna meet some people. And the story, we are working with another huge talent from France, Mathieu Bablé, a comic book author, very famous, and he's also writing the story and doing the art, like all the concept art. And, it's gonna be, of course, the story of why she does that and what she's ready to sacrifice to make the climb. Yeah,
it's really interesting. And going back to the idea of multiple climbing games, we had Jusant recently. Did you play those other games? And were you like, oh man, why did everyone do this right now?
Jusant, I think it's probably that we started before them somehow, but we didn't know that they were going to release a climbing game before us. Eventually, they are very different games. I love Justin. I think it's a very beautiful game, but it's very different in the sense that it's very poetic and challenge less in a way, because you cannot die in Justin, and you can die in Cairn for sure. There is like it's a very different take. The climbing is very different as well. So yeah, they have a kind of theme in common, but very completely different games.
Yeah,
and we can't find an actual game to compare to. That's pretty hard for us as developers, because sometimes within the team we just want to say, like this feature in this other game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was the thing that I really picked up from the trailer and the gameplay. You have your games that are, this might sound wrong, but like you have your games that are fun to play, that are like you're there to engage, as maybe even meditative. And I haven't played Cairn, so it could be that sort of, but that it feels more like that struggle and that journey and like the need to overcome, to like want to do it. And I think it's a good balance in the midst of like other games, and then in any way, shape, or form, to like that it's not just like. It's not entirely just
Yeah, it's designed to be intense and to build stakes for you as a player. You want to really we want to create satisfaction, but that comes after a struggle.
Yes.
But it's also, and we kind of discovered that by having players try the game, like a chill outdoor exploration game. There is that part also. People want to explore and hike and enjoy the beautiful scenery, as well as they want to struggle on the wall for hours.
Yeah.
Well, we have to wrap it up, but I just want to say it's been an awesome pleasure to have you both here. I'm very glad that you were able to like show this game off and be at like Summer Game Fest on the stage and show it. It was good to see in general just have a very like, yesterday's show like had a really good wide scope of things, and like that game in particular had a, like I said, like a very like sweaty, just watching it, just like, oh my God, but I can't wait. Audrey, Emmerich, it's been so nice having you. For those of you who are watching, oh my God, please, the honor is ours.
Is the game on Steam to wishlist now?
Yep,
Yep, so if you're interested, you can wishlist it.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For those of you who are watching, stay tuned. We have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of more people coming on. Please, stick around. All right. See you later.
Bye. I am your host this time. Tomorrow I'm joined by Kurt, but more excitingly, we're here with Jun and Junko. Jun, you're a producer on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and you are our lovely translator for this. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for bringing Dragon Ball to show off to us. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, so this is very exciting for me. I'm a huge Dragon Ball player as well, and it's returning to a format that I really love. So can you tell us a little bit about going back to this kind of like 3D fighting game approach? What was the kind of thinking with that?
バトル系のゲームなので、ドラゴンボール大ファンなので、今回スパーキングゼロは 3D バトルを中心にしたゲームなんでそのバトル系になったんでしょうか。今回のスパーキングその 3D バトル4なんで 3D バトルにしようと思ったんですか、今回のスパーキングゼロ。
そうですね、スパーキングゼロは実は武道会展開地シリーズという名前でこれまでアメリカでは出させていただいているゲームになっていまして、それのシリーズ作品になってます。で過去も3D での対戦格闘ゲームだったので、今回も3D でのアクションゲームにはなっています。
Yeah, so this is part of the Budokai Tenkaichi series, and in the past, we actually wanted to honor that 3D battling that was already part of the series. So that's why we're in 3D battle.
It's been so long since we've had this style of Dragon Ball fighting game. We've had so many other Dragon Ball fighting games since then. Like why now? Like why is this moment to kind of bring this back and like attempt this gameplay? And has there been? Are you staying close to it, to the original format, or how are you changing up now?
なぜこの2024年公開なんでしょうか。で、やっぱり前回のシリーズと近い感じにしたんでしょうか、スパーキングゼロは。今回は何か新しいでしょうか。
そうですね、前作が出たのが17年前とかそれぐらい結構時間が経ってるんですね。そこからかなり時間も空いてただ昔の出ていた作品でも非常に多くの方が遊んでいただいていたファンの方も多くいらっしゃったので、今作時間が空いたところではあるんですけれども、その方々が満足いただけるようにしっかりとシリーズとしてのバトルシステムは同じく踏襲させていただいていて、近い感覚できっとプレイいただけるというふうには思っています。
Yeah, so as we mentioned the last time, the part of the series is out is about 17 years ago, and during that time there were so many fans. So we're really focused on making sure those fans are satisfied with the series of battles you can play in Sparking Zero.
So obviously the original games they had, they were very faithful to the source material in terms of the characters that were represented, which means various forms of Goku. And since like the last game, that has only increased, and now there's more Gokus than ever. There's more, different Vegetas. You've got more characters now. What was the process like in picking who's going to be involved? Was it a case of just being like, we want to get everyone, or is it a case of let's be selective? We want this character from Super or whatever it may be. How did you approach that process?
選ぶ特に悟空なんかも数レベルあるので、どうやってどのキャラを出すか決めたんでしょうか。
そうですね、今回ドラゴンボールスーパーからもたくさんキャラクターが出ているというところで、もちろん原作作中の中で活躍していたキャラクターというのを中心に今回当然実装はさせていただいていますし、シリーズの作品であるというところもあるので、なので過去の武道会展開地3であったような形で悟空だけでも当時と同じような形で悟空の前期中期後期アーリーミドルですかレイトですかねみたいなものも作らせていただいて、過去に遊んでいた人たちが懐かしかったり、慣れているのでより遊びやすかったりというところも意識しながらキャラクターというのは決めさせていただきました。
Yeah, so of course we did choose all the characters centered around the classics, of course, and there's also characters from Dragon Ball Super, and we felt that the fans from Budokai Tenkaichi 3 they'll remember being able to play Goku in his like earlier stage, mid stage, late stage in his story, and we're hoping that those fans will really get nostalgic about BT3 when they played that. So that's kind of very fan-centered thinking when we were choosing characters.
Yeah. How are you approaching kind of like, obviously the heart of these games is always like fighting with your friends and that kind of stuff, but for some people they love the kind of like the story mode, arcade stuff, that kind of thing. How are you approaching that element of it? Obviously fighting games aren't traditionally super heavy on story, but more recently they have been, and Dragon Ball has a rich history of narrative. How are you approaching that element of it?
今回ドラゴンボールっていうのは大体ストーリー性があるんですけれども、ストーリーに対しては今回どういうふうなものなんでしょうか、スパークの。
そうですね、今回 基本的にはそのエピソードバトルというモードがあるんですけれども、そこではその原作で見たようなシチュエーションでのバトルを楽しめるモードに今回作らせていただいています。で特に長いキャラクター、ストーリーのボリュームの多いキャラクターと、悟空なんですけれども、ラディッツ編のところからですね、ラディッツが襲来する、やってくるところからですね、ドラゴンボールスーパーのところまで今回遊んでいただけるようにしています。なので基本的には原作で見たようなシチュエーションでのバトルを楽しめるモードになっているというものですね。
Yeah, so currently, when it comes to that narrative aspect, you can experience that through episode battles mode, and that actually makes you immersed in those iconic battles from the series. And characters such as Goku, like you had mentioned, has a lot of content when it comes to Goku. You know, even with that, within the episode battle, you go from like Reddit's appearing all the way to Dragon Ball Super narrative.
Right.
So I think it was, you mentioned, Junko, it's been 17 years since the original series, and obviously, like, you know, those were PS2. I think there was one on the Wii, and we've had so many console generations since. And like being able to, like, right now we're seeing on the screen like a full city battle, and I kind of want to know, like, you know, were there very specific episodes I'm sure you're taking inspiration from, but where is, you know, like, how are you using like new technology, a new way to like try and show the scope and power of a fight in Dragon Ball that maybe like the 2D games don't do quite as well, or do in their own way?
やっぱり二次元ゲームで、あとは、昔 PS2 とか Wii で遊べた頃と比べて、やっぱり2024年の技術、あとプラットフォームでやっぱり街の破壊とかはどういうふうにもっとすごい体感アップになったんでしょうか、スパーキングゼロでは。
そうですね、街だけに限らずですね、今回アンリアルエンジン5も使わせていただいて、リアルタイムでその悟空たちの持つ超パワーを体験表現できるような形でですね、ゲームの方は作らせていただきました。なのでビルとかも戦いの余波で激しくドカーンと壊れたりもするですし、他にもですね、ちょっと気をためるだけで草木がバタバタと揺れたりだとか、もう天気まで変わったりとかっていうところまで今回リアルタイムに楽しんでいただけるように今なっています。
So we've utilized, we're on Unreal Engine 5, so we can really grasp those battles in real time. So yes, in the cities there will be massive destruction, and even when any of our characters, if they're able to when they're recharging their ki, you can actually see the blades of grass starting to move, the weather changing, the trees moving. So it's a lot more of a immersive experience thanks to the technology.
Obviously, when you look at trailers of it and videos of it, it looks like it plays like a classic game. What are the kind of gameplay changes, additions, tweaks that you have done that might not be visible from a trailer just watching it?
予告編だけ見ていて、ゲームプレイの様子が予告編では全てわからないので、スパーキングゼロのゲームプレイの良さって特にこれありますか？
そうですね、スパーキングシリーズは 3D 対戦アクションとして作っているもので、特にやっぱりドラゴンボールの作品自体すごい3次元的で縦横無尽にすごい超スピードで戦うっていうような作品になっていますし、それを自分の手で本当に操作しながら生み出すことができる、超高速で相手を移動して翻弄したりみたいなこともできますし、やっぱりそういうドラゴンボールらしいアクションっていうのをその手でリアルタイムに生み出せるっていうところがこのスパーキングシリーズ、武道会転換シリーズの魅力というふうに私たちは考えています。
Yeah, we think that what's really especially great about Sparking Zero is that you're, it is, like we mentioned, 3D battle, and the fact that you can control all their movements and how, they're super fast speed, and you can actually control all that and experience it. So I think that's one of the things that's really exciting about it.
Yeah. As a huge fan, obviously the voices of these characters are very, very important. What's kind of been the system and approach in bringing those voices back? Are you kind of taking previously recorded stuff and reusing it, which might sound bad, but as someone who loves Dragon Ball, sounds perfect to me. I want to hear him say Kamehameha exactly how I remember it, but what's the approach for audio and that kind of stuff?
声優さんの方なんですけれども、オリジナルの声優さんを使ったり、あるいはもう昔使われた収録を、もちろん今の時代では使い直すのは NG かもしれないけれども、でも昔のようにカメハメハを聞くのはファンとしては大歓迎なんですけど、なので声優さんとかはどういうふうに今回出されるんですか？
そうですね、そこはちょっと私の方からちょっとなかなか申し上げられる部分ではないので、ちょっとここで差し控えさせていただけたらなんですけど。
Yeah, actually, that's an area that is a bit out of scope for
Oh,
for
okay, that's
right now.
fine.
So I
It's a
can't
little bit
talk
of secret.
about
I'm
too much.
excited to see it. Yeah. In terms of the multiplayer stuff, we have the classic battles. What are the other kind of formats that are going to be available in terms of the combat stuff beyond just the one-on-one fight? Usually, you have a little extra flavor in there as well.
バトルのバトルの種類はマルチプレイ、一応1対1が基本ですけれども、他にはどんなバトル対戦があるんですか？
基本的にお客さんはその1対1、プレイヤーは2人ですね、1対1の対戦が基本的になっていまして、その中でチームでその最大5人までメンバーを選んでバトルすることができるというのが基本的なバトルシステムにはなります。
Yeah, so at the core of it is player versus player, but then you can also create teams, a maximum of five players, and battle out that way.
Yeah, that sounds like you can recreate classic moments, I guess. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the online component? Because obviously the previous game in the series or spiritual successors, predecessors, didn't have much of an online component. Can you talk a little bit about how online is implemented? Is it going to be available, or how are you working with that?
過去の作品はオンラインっていうのはそんなになかったので、今回スパーキングゼロはオンラインでは何があるランクなんですか？
そうですね、フレンド同士で楽しむことのできる当然対戦もありますし、ランクマッチという形で強さをどんどん自分で上を目指していくっていう遊び方もできるようになります。
Yeah, so there is, playing with friends, and then there'll be ranked matches as well.
Oh, fantastic! That sounds cool.
I'm super excited about the idea. I'm so fixated on the destruction aspect of it, and being able to see the scope of these fights, because it's such an iconic thing when you get to watch it in an anime, but playing it is a different story. And I was curious if there was a specific character or thing, or even combination of characters that you love to watch destroy cities or punch through mountains, and what's that like to be able to fulfill that fantasy?
古谷さん自身、このキャラクターを都会を破壊するとき見る場面が好きとか、そういった、迫力ある、シーンがキャラクターか要素ありますか？
そうですね、ちょっと当然戦いの中で壊れていくっていうところで都市を壊すためにというわけではないんですけれども、そうですね、例えばブロリーなんかは周囲に木で爆発して周囲を一気に攻撃することができる技を持っていますし、悟空のアルティメットブラスト、一番強い必殺技ですねでいうと、すごい木を体の周りに放ちながら放つすごいカメハメハを打つことができて、かなり盛大にグラフィック表現含めて気持ちの良い表現になっているんじゃないかなというふうには思います。
Yeah, so I would, as examples, I would say Broly. His explosive move actually explodes, around him. So that's very destructive, but Goku's ultimate blast, when he's any of the Kamehamehas, I think the graphics that we're offering now with Sparking Zero is it just will feel so much better to really feel that all that power.
On the flip side, how do you approach characters that don't have that much destructive power and continue to make them fun and interesting? Everyone loves to make fun of him, but some people still love Yamcha, but he doesn't quite have the destructive power of other characters. So how do you approach kind of ensuring that if you decided you want to play Yamcha, it's still fun and there's a lot to see and feel with him?
逆に例えばヤンちゃんみたいな、そんなに破壊力がすさまじくないキャラクターはどういうふうに工夫してプレイしたいなというようなキャラクターにしましたか？
そうですね、ヤムチャでいうと、ヤムチャもカメハメハが使えたりするので、結構やっぱパワフルな力を持っているキャラクターにはなりますし、でもその中でも特徴的な近接攻撃でのローガ風風剣という技だったりとか、超必殺技早期弾っていう相手に攻撃して木の玉をバシバシと相手にぶつけるような技とかもできますし、やっぱりキャラクターらしいアクションっていうのを楽しんでいただけるようなキャラクターにはなっています。
Yeah, so even Yamcha, he still can do Kamehameha.
A little bit.
So he still has, he can still do that. But a lot of close combat. He has very specific moves that he can do, including multiple energy attacks, things like that.
Yeah.
So we have made sure to really know and understand the specific qualities of our characters.
ヤムチャに限らずですけど、他にも例えばクリリンとかであれば、太陽剣って相手の目をくらませて 隙を作る技も使えますし、残像剣みたいなもので相手の攻撃をうまく自分の残像を使って回避するみたいな技もあったりして、そういうか乱をしながら戦うキャラクターもいたりしますし、そのキャラクターらしい戦い方をそれぞれ楽しんでいただけるようにはなっているかなと思います。
And even Kuririn, he has a solar blast that blinds everyone. He also has counterattacks. So yeah, being very knowing our characters really well, and to bring out their qualities.
Yeah, well, I'm very glad to see the game back, and it's definitely evoking my nostalgia. Thank you so much, Junko, for joining us on the show and bringing Dragon Ball to us. It's hopefully going to be seeing more of it at the show. But yeah, thank you for everyone for watching, and we'll see you very soon with hopefully Metaphor Fantazio. Peace.
like it's no different in a
Welcome back to
in a
GameSpot
film
Live
studio
here
when you're like, you know, overexposing, underexposing.
I'm joined by Lucy.
Hello.
We are also joined by Katsura Hashino. We've got Taku Hattori and Scott Strickhardt. You guys are all representing Metaphor Fantazio, a game that both of us are very, very excited about. Thank you for joining us. How does it feel to finally have your game out there?
このようにゲームを発表してリリース控えていますが、どのようなお気持ちでしょうか。
もう本当に出せる時になって本当に嬉しい。
I'm just happy that we're finally able to. We're close to releasing it finally. The game went through a pretty long production timeline, so we're happy it's close to release. It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
And on stage at Summer Game Fest, you announced the release date. It's sooner than I thought it would be. Much later in the year. I'm taking a week off work.
Yep.
How did it feel to go out in front of that big crowd and then get to announce the release date?
SCF でいろいろ発表されたと思いますが、あのような大きな観衆の前でいろいろと発表したことに関して何かご感想ありますか？
めちゃくちゃ緊張しました。
I was super nervous.
ステージの裏で5分前までスピーチの練習してました。
I was preparing for the speech until like the last minute backstage.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's very well delivered. Yeah. You talked about how this game has been in development for a really long time. A lot of people might be thinking, oh, but you've made so many big RPGs. Surely this is just another one of those. But this feels like it's a lot of departures from what you previously have done, and no doubt contributed to that. What was kind of like different about making this game that perhaps could have contributed into taking the more time you needed?
はい、で今までアトロスでさまざまな他の RPG を作成されてきたと思いますが、今回新しい IP ということでいろいろと違う点差別化もあるかと思いますが、そのような過去の作品との違いというのが今回のその長い開発期間の要因の一つだったのでしょうか。
今までは東京とか舞台を渋谷とか決めたらそれ以上の設定ってする必要なかったけど。今回は全部世界一から作んなきゃいけないんで、それがすごく大変だったし、旅っていうテーマで作りました。
Yeah, especially for our past titles, we usually had like a set setting, for example, Shibuya in Tokyo, whereas for this title, we had to create a new world from the ground up. So that definitely added to the longer production time, and also incorporating the journey aspect also added to the development time as well.
When did you decide that you wanted to do such a departure from the Persona SMT series, going fully into fantasy and making a new world? How did that process start?
今回どのような理由があって、今までの現代劇から離れてファンタジーに飛び込んでみようという、きっかけがいつどのようなことであったのでしょうか。
かなり前になるんですけど、その女神転生やペルソナ以外のゲーム RPG でどんなの作りたいってチームのメンバーと話してた時に、とにかくファンタジー作りたいって、本当にそれが理由ですね。
Yeah, it was a while ago, but after creating Shin Megami Tensei games, Persona games, we had a huddle with the development team, and we discussed what sort of games we wanted to create, and that's when the idea came up of going in that fantasy route.
Scott, I was going to ask you, what's it like for you to work on a game that's like very, very different from what the team has been producing previously? It must be a whole new set of challenges for you working in, the field that you do in localization.
Yeah, I would say we had to, start from scratch in the same way, where, a Persona game has a lot of terminology and a lot of things that you're able to just kind of port over from one to the next, because that's how a Persona game works, right? But with this game, it was, again, just like Ashina-san was saying, where we threw the book out and decided to create something new for both the English speaking world, that we're responsible for, and all the other languages as well. So it was a challenge for us too.
Yeah. How do you work with the team in terms of finding the kind of right words or even like the names for certain things? Like they're very unique creatures that are created and characters, obviously. How do you work with the team in terms of making sure that the intent behind those names is there, but also it's something that, you know, translates well to the West?
Hashina-san and team have been very cooperative with us. They throw things at us, and we are 90%, you know, using exactly what they've said. But sometimes we're like, oh, in English, this could use this. This might work this way. Right. And when we return that to them, it's up to them to very much look at that and say, oh, does this work, or does this fit with our world vision? And there's a discussion. There's a very kind of healthy discussion about what topics and what you know, what terminologies, what names make sense for, you know, all regions, since we're, you know, launching this across the globe at the same time.
Yeah.
Which fantasy worlds and books, TV shows, movies did you look at for inspiration when coming up with the world and design in the game itself?
本作のデザインをされるときに参考にしたインスピレーションを着想点を得た他のファンタジーの本であったりとか、そういうメディアっていうのはあったんでしょうか？
ありましたね。まあ、たくさんのファンタジー入門、ファンタジーの文学入門とかたくさん読みました。でその中でね、ファンタジーはただ現実逃避するだけじゃないって書いてあって、今この世界のままである必要はいつだってないんだよみたいなことが書いてあって、なんかその確認のためにファンタジーってものがあるって捉えたら面白いんじゃないかっていう一節があって、それがすごくパワーになりました。
Yeah, I definitely looked at various fantasy books, Fantasy 101 books, and so there was a lot of inspiration drew from those various media. One thing that did stick out for me especially was that fantasy, in one of the books they mentioned that fantasy is not just pulling yourself away from your reality. There's things that you can take from it and, you know, reflect that into your daily life as well. So it's not like a very split thing that draws a line between fantasy and the real world. So there are like connections that, you know, should be drawn.
Yeah, sounds like you did a lot of homework, and this was like a kind of growing experience for you as well. That must have been, was it something that you wanted to do, like try and figure out new perspectives and approach new genres as a creator?
今回いろいろと研究されたみたいですけれども、今回そういう意図があったのでしょうか。クリエイターとしても新しい分野にこう飛び込んで、そこら辺のこう自分の可能性と広げていくっていうのも一つ考えていらっしゃったのでしょうか。
ものすごく長い時間 RPG ってプレイヤーの皆さんに、プレイしてもらうもので、僕アトラスのゲームでなんだろう、プレイしてる時間だけじゃなくて、プレイし終わった後の自分にも影響のあるようなゲームがすごい好きだった。それがファンタジーっていうジャンルでもできたら面白いなっていうチャレンジでした。
It was definitely a challenge taking on this fantasy genre for the first time, and especially we have that responsibility of players, you know, investing their time with our games for so long. We wanted to make sure that whatever they took away from this game is something they could take away and incorporate into their daily lives as well.
なんか問題が起きた時に、現実でなんか問題が起きた時に、そのポジティブに捉えたりネガティブに捉えたりって人それぞれでいろいろあると思うんですよ。だからすごくその想像力がたくましい方が物事をいろいろポジティブに捉えることができて強く生きれるんじゃないかな、そんなところをテーマにしました。
I think in our daily lives, there's different issues and challenges that we face, and how we react to it, whether it's positively or negatively, it depends on the person. But we wanted to make sure that whatever, you know, people took away from this game and more imagination that they drew from this game would, you know, help people have a better positive outlook on their daily lives as well.
In terms of creating characters, do you feel the pressure now when you're creating these characters, knowing that people attach themselves so closely to it, they have huge favorites? How do you kind of deal with that And does it impact you, you know, while you're creating it? Do you know, like, oh, this character is going to be very popular? Like, did you know before, you know, the game was out, like Teddy was going to be super popular, or whatever it may be?
はい、新しいキャラクターをこう作るという時はかなりプレッシャーといいますかは感じるのでしょうか。というのもかなり皆さんファンの皆さんはこういろんなキャラを見て、そういうそれぞれのこうお気に入りキャラとかができてくると思うんですけれども、そういうことによってまあプレイヤーの皆さんにもいろいろ影響がある重要なステップかと思うんですけれども、例えば今回に関して言うとなんかこのキャラが人気になりそうだなっていう感覚はありましたが、例えばその P4 のクマが人気になったかのように。はい。
あまり僕の場合は特定のこのキャラクターが人気になってほしいなっていうふうにはあまり作ってないんだけど、いつもペルソナのゲーム作ってる時って敵役がすごく本当に敵っぽい悪っぽい、言葉選ばないといけないかな、本当に悪いやつなだけなんですけど、今回は敵役もすごく魅力的に作ったつもりなので、良い側も悪い側もこの世界においての良い側も悪い側もなんかそれぞれに魅力が放たれるといいなと思ってます。
Yeah, when I am creating the games, I don't really go with that mindset of trying to create certain characters to be more appealing than the others or like create favorites. But one thing I can say is that in Persona, the villains were definitely straightforward villainous or evil, whereas in this title we feel that the villains of this game have their own perspectives and their agendas. So depending on how you look at it, they have their say on things as well. So we feel that not just the protagonist side but also the villains, they also have their appeal in this game as well.
But how is it for you? Like, are you able to, when you're like doing the localization, are you able to, do you get clues like, oh, this character is going to be super popular, or do you ever have to like steer a character a little more to be like, I think they're going for this, so we have to work, you know, in terms of localization to bring it to that point, or do you just like do as is and leave it there?
For Metaphor, we did have a creative vision for the English because we recorded it in London. This is the first time we recorded an Atlas title, I believe, in London.
Oh wow!
And obviously that steered it in some direction because we were using all these different dialects and accents to bring these characters to life. I would say that there's certain characters that we feel when we look at them and we're like, that one might be popular. Yeah. But I don't want to put anything in anyone's head. So let's wait till the game comes out and we'll see who pops to the top.
Yeah, I've been seeing the trailers and trying to figure out who's going to be my favorite, and there's a lot of them there right now.
Girl with the red hair.
Yeah, red hair girl. I don't know what her name is, but
Falkenberg.
Okay, cool, great. Music is a big part of it, and also the way it looks is a big part of it. I'm interested to how the game evolved, given that it's been in development for a really long time, and it feels like between Persona 3, 4, and then 5, the identity of what the kind of games Atlas creates visually kind of solidified and cemented itself. Did the game always look like this, and did it have that kind of like lineage very apparent in it, or was it kind of adjusting to see what the other teams were doing and kind of like building that together?
ペルソナで言いますと、3、4、5の流れの中でペルソナのこうビジュアル的な方向性っていうのは確立していったと思うんですけれども、今回メタファーに関して言うと最初から今出来上がっているような、見た目であったりとかビジュアルを想定していたのか、それとも開発の工程の中でそれはこう確立していったものなのでしょうか。
最初はもっとシンプルなポップな絵でした。でもそれだとなかなか世界観に合わなくて、かなり苦労して今のビジュアルになりました。
Actually, towards the beginning of the development, there definitely was a more pop feel to it, but that didn't mesh well with the world lore of the game. So there were some trials and errors, and we've ended up with the current aesthetics that we have.
I was going to ask, I mean, you've been creating games, and obviously there must be some element of you pouring yourself into each one. What have you put in about yourself into Metaphor?
ゲームをこう開発される中で、ご自身の一部というのをこうゲームに入れるっていう 要素があると思うんですけれども、今回橋野さんのどういう一部がこのゲームに注ぎ込まれていますか？
あんまり一部を入れようとは思わない、まあ、長く作ってるから入っちゃうところもあるかもしれないけど、ただどっかで僕はゲームのプランナーというかゲームのディレクタークリエイターだから、なんかいろんな問題がそのアイデアとかその発想でなんだろうな、なんか希望がないように見えても考え方一つでなんか希望が見えるようになるといいなって思うこと多いので、そのようなポジティブなメッセージっていうのは物語に入ったかなと思います。
I don't think I deliberately try to put myself in it, but as a creator who's been doing this a long time, I'm sure like pieces of me are embedded in the game. But overall, looking at it generally, I feel like the message of delivering hope to the players is something that I wanted to get across. So in the various parts and various elements of the game, hopefully that does come through to the players.
Yeah, I think that the hope that these games always achieve in bringing to people and showing is possible is preceded by a lot of dark things that people in the games go through. And by people, I mean predominantly teenagers going through some real wild stuff. And obviously the fantasy genre is an opportunity to kind of traditionally there's like severe things happening in those universes. So tonally, what can people expect from Metaphor? Are you going to continue that trend of putting these poor teenagers through those kind of harsh trials and tribulations again? And is it like more severe than previous games that you guys have made?
今回希望というお話が今ありましたけれども、やはりそこに行き着くまでにはさまざまなダークな要素であったりとか課題とかを乗り越えてそこに行き着くとは思うんですけれども、今までで言うとその中高生とかがそのメインになってそういういろいろな課題を乗り越えていくという形のゲームがあったかと思いますが、今回はそのトーンとしては今までよりもさらにダークな課題であったりとか、難関を乗り越えることになるんでしょうか。で、それはその前回と比較してそこら辺のトーンといいますか違いはありますか？
もちろん学園ものとは違う舞台なので、特に大人たちの世界だし、今回はそういう意味でのトーンの違いっていうのはあるけど、特段別にダークっていうものにこだわってるわけではないです。旅っていうのをテーマに、ちょっと長いかな、一回
大丈夫です。はい、
旅っていうテーマになんだろうな、未知のもの、知らないものに対して不安を乗り越えてちょっと一歩進んでみるみたいな形をなんか割と前面にシナリオとかゲームプレイに盛り込みました。
Yeah, of course, with our past games, it was centered around high school kids. So the type of challenges they would face would be different than the ones that the characters in this game would face. So the tone is different, but we're not necessarily going for just a dark, quote-unquote, dark tone, especially with the theme of this game being taking a journey. I hope that throughout that journey, the players will face things that are unknown to them and them taking a leap of faith, even in the face of anxiety. That is something that we wanted to depict in this game.
Awesome. Before we go, I know you guys are very proud of the special edition that you've been preparing to put out. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what's included?
コレクターズエディションに関してお話しされますか？豪華版。
コレクターエディション
か、最後の宣伝の最後の宣伝で、はい。
コレクターエディションすごく凝ってるので、ぜひ買ってください。
Yeah, the collector's edition is quite lavish, and we put in a lot of love into it. So hopefully people will check it out.
Yeah, I mean, as people who own the previous
lot of
ones,
things,
you can vouch. We can vouch for that. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
are so excited to play the game as huge fans of Alice's work. So very excited that it's out this year. So thank you once again for joining us, and thank you for watching along. We'll be back very soon. So keep it locked on GameSpot. We'll see you soon.
Hello, my sweet, dear, beautiful gamer friends. Welcome to GS Live with GameSpot Live. I'm your host, Cairn Davina. It is Summer Game Fest 2024, and that means cool games with cool people like me. And Lucy James, who's a host that's joining me, but more importantly, we have a special guest. It's Petter.
That's me.
And we are here, you're here, with Steam, you may not believe it, but Steamworld Heist 2. You're quite literally wearing it, so here you are.
Oh, yeah. I am, for sure, yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm just doing great. I've been showing our game for a bunch of people this morning, and it's been lovely. Really liking the reception we've had so far.
Yeah, that's great. So, I mean, like, how long have you been working on it? You know, what's it like to finally have it in people's hands here at Summer Game Fest?
So, like this, just the project in itself has been going on for maybe 4 years or so. It's been slightly less than that in actual production, but it's really nice to be able to show it off to people now. It's been one of the games that people have been asking for from us, and historically with Steamworld, we've been kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to get back to one of our most loved titles.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Steamworld Heist 1 came out in 2006.
Yeah, it's like 9 years ago now.
Yeah.
And it's always like it was interesting for me because I've always known of like Steam Dig and like Steamworld Heist, and it's like there's like a universe of Steam games. Not to be confused with the
distribution platform.
Yes,
Oh yeah, yeah.
But this is also the first time that it's being done. The first one was published by Thunderful Games. Maybe not.
Maybe no. Like Steamworld Build is also published by Thunderful, and that came out just last year.
Yeah.
As well.
But now this is like a full-fledged, developed, published Thunderful installment.
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah.
Yeah. How is it? What is it like being able to kind of like expand this unit? Like it's feels like it has this like very cult sort of thing. Like you said, people have been asking for it.
I think a common theme among the Steamworld games that we've made is that we take it in directions where we really want to go ourselves. That's been a big portion of why we've jumped between different genres and trying out different things. And sometimes we also have a bunch of things we want to do with a game we already released, like in Steamworld Heist, for example. So there were a bunch of things that we wanted to do with the first game that we now actually managed to put into Steamworld Heist 2. For example, like in this game we have this huge, cool world map where you get to explore the ocean and sail around and do some naval fighting. And that's something we actually started doing for Heist 1 as well, but didn't get the time to finish. So,
where do you start? Because I mean, looking at even the Steam page for the first game, overwhelmingly positive, 10 out of 10, people absolutely love it. Where do you decide to, from what you and the team want to implement into a sequel versus taking things from an audience that's very engaged and that loves the original game? Like, where do you even start? Like, you wanted to do the map and couldn't, but then other things that you've added in this game, where do they come from?
I think, again, like a big portion of it is just the passion of the development team themselves, of us being able to show things that we love and get them to new people. And I think that's, I would say that all of the Steamworld games are very approachable. And even though maybe you loved, say, one of our games in one of the genres, and now we make another game in a different genre, so, like, is this for you then? Like, oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't try this. This isn't the type of game I like, but, I like Steamworld, so I'll give it a try. And then we try to tailor the experience in such a way that it's still easy for you to get into and maybe find a new genre to like that you didn't know before. But still, I mean, obviously we are gamers as well, so we want to still give you like depth and like a strategic challenge with what we're doing. So, and I think Steamworld Heist is probably the game where we go the furthest in trying to give you a lot of tools to work with and try to challenge you to put those to good use.
Well, there's like, and that's where I find like the Steam universe, where like each game has like its own genre in a way, like its own distinct thing, but it's still within like this like steampunk.
Well, like we have our DNA of like a very specific sense of humor and the characters and like the art design as well. Like our artists are just amazing and making these quirky robots look so good.
The one thing that watching gameplay here, it's like 2D turn-based combat, like this, this kind of strategy sort of way of like fighting and like these other enemies. And it's on its own has like its own tropes that come with strategy games. But the thing that makes excuse me, but this has this whole like you bounce bullets and like all these things.
Teaching people geometry better than schools.
I know. And there's like this there's such a cool, fun skill and puzzle element, like this combination of being like you can do a sick, plan a shot and like see it pull off in like a single thing. Like, oh my god, I'm so cool. But then there's like that. I don't know. It's the balance of the both.
For
right?
sure. I mean, it's definitely the DNA of the first game that people loved a lot, and I'm honestly surprised that we haven't seen it more in other games since then. And again, like it's been 9 years. And that's like a big portion of going back to this game as well. It's just so fun. I've heard a lot of people talk about like Worms as a thing.
Worms. I was a big Worms fan when I was younger. So like seeing like Steamworld Heist like feels like when you say like, oh, I'm surprised somebody hasn't done it, but it's like Steamworld Heist has felt like a natural evolution in a way, like that sort of genre and style. Now you're taking it to the sea, to the water. Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Like how do you do that? Like it's like it's like how does that gameplay differ? And what you're doing.
So, like the first game is very much, it still has a piratey theme of, you're trying to crash into other spaceships and that kind, and kind of, go in there, get the loot, get out, and I kind of felt natural, I think, to go more towards the root of that idea or that genre in itself, and we haven't really explored seafaring either. Again, like we come back to this world map, and it's an easy way of thinking, how do we explore this world? And it just felt natural, I think. So it's a great fit.
Steam universe.
Yeah, and you also mentioned humor as well. I mean, obviously, we get to play. Maybe get to play a little bit early or a demo, and then the final thing. You've been working and living and breathing this game for years. How do you make sure that the humor is still something that kind of like the tongue-in-cheek jokes and stuff still hit after all that time? Are the ones that you get fed up of and then you kind of come around on again, or?
That's a good question. I don't know. You just have to have, that kind of people around you that kind of like this humor. I think Gothenburg in itself, where we are located, is kind of famous in Sweden for that a certain sense of humor, and I think some of that comes through in our games as well.
Well, before we were actually on air, we were like talking about like the things that you do as like a studio together to like have fun outside of just the games, and like it sounds like it's like in the DNA of Thunderful. Like it's like when you're not working on a game, you're doing karaoke and having fun and singing. What's your song again? Piano Man.
Piano Man is nice.
And you know my name.
Yeah.
But go like right off of that. Tell me about the hats.
So, that's a good question. I think the first game came around the time we had some of us played a lot of Team Fortress. So I think the inspiration, part of the inspiration came from the Valve games, and it just fit very well with the gameplay of getting these trick shots and trying to shoot the hats out the other characters, and it's a lovely way of giving you that quirkiness and the exploration of finding and customizing your own crew and doing all these crazy setups. Yeah, it's we love it. That's one of the first things on the list when we make it. Like, can we get more hats into this? It's really that important for us.
Yeah, like fun puzzles, hats.
Yeah, sure. I'm not joking.
We need to make a very strategy-based game where you're going to be shooting other people and wearing funny hats.
Yes.
And we're going to be taking it very seriously.
Oh, yes.
But not that seriously, because we're going to be. Can you have a fez? Is there a fez?
I think we have a fez.
How many hats? How many hats? Can you tell me how many hats you have?
Oh, I don't know on top of my head.
Someone get the news team on this. New article, how many hats are in?
Yeah. The big question.
I'll come back to you on that.
Okay, all right, have a think.
Well, you mentioned the crew there as well, and kind of, I mean, I want to get into that because I love I love gaming systems and seeing how things all come together. Can you kind of give us a little overview about how everyone kind of synergizes with each other and how difficult that is as a developer to balance when you've got different abilities and then like being able to kind of spec in, like I saw,
sure.
2 ways?
So that's kind of the second big portion of new things that we've added to this game compared to Heist 1. So in Heist 1, you meet all these different characters in the game, and they have very unique abilities and unique characteristics for how they play. And we felt like we wanted even more strategic depth than that. So this time around, we made this job system, which is based on the characters equipping different weapons.
The robots are taking our jobs.
Yeah. So they're taking jobs from equipping different weapons. And you can just change weapons and get different jobs, but you still get to keep some of the abilities or some of the experience that you've gained in a different job when you're switching. So we try to invite you to mix and match all of these abilities. And as you said, like that's difficult to kind of balance, but in a game like this, we feel like it's more important for you to feel empowered and interested in finding these different secrets than for us to make sure that it is waterproof and exactly balanced. So there are definitely combinations in here that are more powerful than others, but that's kind of up to the gamers to find and enjoy.
Yeah, I was going to say it must be like kind of take you in 2 different directions in a way, because you are as designers, like you come up with this experience, but you also do want to let go of the hand a little bit and just go.
I mean, many games are to a certain extent toys, and you just want to find cool things and let people play around with them.
Has there been any unexpected combinations or something that's come up in playtesting, or sounded like someone dropped a whole load of scaffolding outside?
Like a Steamworld Heist is going on outside right next to us.
But no, what's the most kind of unexpected combination that you've seen and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't expect that to work. Maybe that's the new meta.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, actually. Nothing that comes right in my head now.
I mean, but it's, it's what it like. This might be a few questions, but it's in adapting and carrying on what Steamworld Heist. It's like, what was the main things like going into this one that you knew you had to evolve from the first game, and kind of also that sort of creativity, the creativity you see from the first game and how you bring that into the second?
I would say that would probably be the world map. Again, it's definitely one of the first features that we pitched to our team or ourselves and wanted to do. And again, it fits very well into the theme and the idea of the game in itself. So that's definitely a starting point. It's definitely been difficult, though. It's been a lot of iteration just to get to where we are right now and finding the right balance of how difficult it's going to be, how engaging you want it to be, because it's still 2 different levels of game. Strategic mode and a tactics mode is always difficult to kind of balance those 2.
Yeah, and I feel also with players of the first game who will now be able to come back to it, we're probably bullet bouncing off the wall pros. Where's the balance? Is there a difficulty setting? Is there a balance in which you're trying to honor those who already are familiar with it?
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the ways we try to again meet the approachability and getting people into this and still keeping it challenged is by having multiple levels of difficulty where you can either just select one of a couple of presets, or you can also customize it yourself with a bunch of different settings where you can go pretty detailed into what kind of challenge you want. For example, if you want the tactics levels to be extremely challenging, but you want to make the outworld combat or the ship combat less difficult, you can do so, or the other way around.
This is more of a general question about kind of game development, but you kind of come into a new project, you have a load of ideas. How do you know, I guess, what's not working versus what really is working? And if you decide to pull back on one idea or kind of, go all in on another. What's the process? Is it just endless play testing? Is it getting other people?
Yeah, you just have to play it a lot and put it into hands of new people and see how they play. I think it's very important for us as well to actively play the game as much as possible. That is super important, and I think that's been key for any good designer really plays the game a lot and puts it into the hands of new people.
And how do you is that also a way in which you gauge the jokes, whether they're landing, whether people are laughing?
That's a good question. Also, I don't think we vet those as much as we maybe should sometimes. But no, they just end up in the game, and they're just good.
I think Thunderful has like a really good identity in that way, where like they're very charming and very colorful experiences, like on a personal personality, and like they're very naturally very funny, and it's always like good to see. It's just good to know that there's developers who are like trying to do something mechanically interesting, but still trying to entertain the audience beyond that, and like have that sort of voice and personality. But of course, like this, I don't know. Is this one seems very much like an adventure game? Like there's like how are you blending in the adventure and the story and the narrative into like these beats and moments in the gameplay?
So specifically in Steamworld Heist 2, we the way we did it is that we like the main character of the game. Captain Leeway, he's mainly a narrative construct, and he's the one who's guiding the player throughout the game and the story of the game. He generally doesn't join the crew when you're actually playing the game. So that way, I think you can also give the rest of the crew space and have them, have some of the jokes and have the humor for their part, and he can take on some of the more serious issues as well. But other than that, I think it's also like just giving the characters personality and a lot of room to express that, both
hats.
for gameplay or hats if they want to.
With hats.
So that I think is the way that we've done it, at least.
Well, it's been awesome talking. When can we expect it or see it?
Yeah, so Steamworld Heist 2, it's released on August 8th on like all major platforms.
A day before my birthday.
I was gonna say right in between our birthdays.
Yeah, right in between our birthdays. Thank you for putting it that date too. It's like especially the day before my birthday. So
you've already got the 9th off as well, haven't you?
Oh, I do. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Petra. It's been great. We cannot wait to play Steamworld Heist.
We'll do karaoke after this.
We're going to go do karaoke. We're going to go wear funny hats, and then we're going to do trick shots.
That's great.
Anyways, I've been Kurt. I am Kurt. That's Lucy James. You're watching GS Live. Stay tuned because we have many more guests, many more cool things. Video games, humans, stories, all the wonderful things that makes the world turn around. Anyways, stay tuned. See ya.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to GameSpot GS Live. We are here with a very special show, not just because I'm here, but because we have an entire couch full of people here. Because we're talking about, you may have seen this man and might have an idea of what we might be talking about, which is Starship Troopers. Here's the team. Let's go down the line because there's 4 of you on this couch. So who are you?
I'm Casper Van Dien. I play Johnny Rico, and
Oh yes, I just said I know how to do it too.
rookie mistake right away.
Wow,
Rookie
right away.
mistake, seriously.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Okay, good. You can hear me now. You can't hear me when I'm down here, right? Okay. All right. Casper Van Dien. I play Johnny Rico in Starship Troopers, and now Starship Troopers Extermination.
Damn right.
Do you have that when like you press start in the menu? Do you hear the do it?
We might need to add that in now.
Extermination.
We'll
Extermination.
get a feature doc for that. And we'll see it. Everybody back home is probably
good.
wondering. It's like, no, don't add that.
Yes, do.
Stop feature creeping. Okay.
Oh no, it's perfect. Thank you so much for that's. I think we're gonna have a great game because of that.
Yes, that's the only reason.
Yeah, consider the feedback. Anyways, down the line, here we go.
Can I go now? Can I go now? I'm Peter Maurice. I'm the project lead for Starship Troopers Extermination.
I'm Chaz Barker. I'm the lead game designer of Starship Troopers Extermination.
You have to say it with the extermination.
Extermination.
There we go.
Yeah. And I'm not much more busy.
Thanks, I'm Gareth Woods. I'm the head of marketing at Awful.
Welcome. It's like seriously, like I'm a big Starship Troopers fan. I'm also a big Paul Verhoeven fan. I think that's something we might have in common.
Yes, I'm a huge Starship Troopers fan. There was one time and moment when I was shooting Starship Troopers in Casper, Wyoming, in a place called Hell's Half Acre. Yeah, Casper, Wyoming. I drove everybody nuts. But I'm sitting there, and there's 1,400 extras, 30 actors with guns, live ammos, 30 stunt people with guns and live ammo. And we're running around. The drop ships are down there, and we're just about to blow up the big plasma bugs. And I look over, and behind the camera, I see Paul Verhoeven, director of RoboCop, Ed Neumeyer, the writer of RoboCop, John Davison, producer of RoboCop, and Phil Tippett, the visual effects genius behind RoboCop. And I looked around, and I went, wait a minute. Peter Weller was #1 on his call sheet, and I'm #1 on this call sheet, so I'm Murphy. And I'd buy that for $1.
Oh my God. There's like the one thing that also the RoboCop game that came out this year too, Peter Weller's stepping back in. Like that, there's like this theme of Paul Verhoeven made films, coming back in the fold with the star and the original cool guy to come right back in.
Cool guy. I like that. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. But I want to, it's something that's so amazing to me about Starship Troopers as a film, specifically, obviously coming from a novel, and there was certain forms of media that presented it visually, but there's a specific iconography, I feel like, that started with that film. And it's just been, that's it. When you think of Starship Troopers, that's what you think of. You think of exactly like the suits from that movie, you think of the bugs from that movie, and now with Starship Extermination, it's like, it's just carrying it on. And, coming back to the roots with this figure. What is that like? Honoring, that specific look, that specific thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump in there. I guess from a marketing perspective, a key thing for us was always trying to recreate the authentic Troopers experience. That was almost the banner statement. So we almost used the movie as a kind of checklist of what are people going to expect to be able to do.
What actors are in it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Who's still alive? Who's still alive? Who hasn't lost their life in a film or part of the Starship universe? And so it became this kind of list of, this is what people will expect. We still want to exceed their expectations because a lot of people haven't watched more than just the first movie, so they're going to be surprised by all the stuff that's coming. But it became our almost playbook to go, we need to give people the experience that if you, in 1997, watched this movie and like, I want that. I want to be able to do that. And so it was great to have Casper involved and have him see our kind of homework and see what we've done, and for him to react authentically and go, man, this is what it's like. In fact, you've actually told us it was more real because half the time they're doing CG and they're following tennis balls around and shooting, the dirt. But now we're actually getting to show him what it was actually like for people to be there on set.
And you're a bit of a gamer.
I'm a little bit of a gamer. My daughter's a better gamer than I am, but I'm going to be re-gaming now. I'm back in the world because I'm going to be playing this. I'm actually playing it tomorrow with my daughter, Grace Van Dien Bluefeet. We're going to do we're going to get a squad together and go kill some bugs.
The best, you were saying this when you came in, where it's like, we've had Starship Trooper games. Like we've had some real-time strategy games. There was like one first-person shooter, I think, that came out so long ago. And it's like you were saying it's just like you were like why isn't it there? Like why aren't we not doing more Starship Troopers games? Like what's happening? Like,
well, it's obviously the fans like it because people keep making games. I mean, there was when Halo came out, I was like, that's why we should have made Starship Troopers and Gears of War. That's why we should have made Starship Troopers and Helldivers 2. Then that's why we should have made Starship Troopers. And now they made Starship Troopers and they called me up and I was like, yes, finally somebody gets me.
Yeah,
they had me at hello, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'm glad.
Everyone fights, no one quits.
It honestly was a passion project for the studio from a few developers who just was in love with the franchise. They were working on a different game and they made a mod of Troopers for that game. And then it just took off from there. And then like when I had the opportunity to jump on board on like Starship Troopers game, it's made in Vancouver, Canada. I'm there. What do you need? Because I was in college when this movie came out and I fell in love with it then and totally understood satire. And our whole studio and our team of 30 passionate developers are just so stoked to be working on this game every day.
It's like you know, I kind of think about like technology, obviously, and like, you know, the ability to translate the feeling of Starship Troopers. And I think maybe that, I mean, like the real-time strategy games, like they serve a place in which how the game, the, you know, military base and fighting bugs. But it's the thing with Starship Troopers is like the absolute like chaos. Like the movie is so terrifying at certain points. Like you spend so much time developing these characters. You spend so much time like being like, oh, these dudes are badasses. They will do everything they need to like make the mission go, and then they go there and it's an absolute disaster.
A big part of it was obviously having the technology to be able to do this thing right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Chaz, maybe you want to talk about you know, the stuff with Carnage, and now finally having the technology to do the stuff we want to be able to do.
Yeah, Carnage is this new technology that we've kind of created at Off-World that allows, you know, well, you know how in most games that you kill an enemy and it disappears, and you're like, all right, ours don't disappear, they stick around. And now they have to be pathed by other bugs. So we get in situations where the actual, the bugs can pile up against the wall, climb over, get into your base like World War Z type stuff, or like the original movie. And it's just a game changer. It's so much fun.
And you can climb on the bugs, which, you know, it's amazing. Or you can go through the bugs.
You can tunnel through them. It's like, I was saying, it's like a suffocating moment sometimes where you're a trooper on the battlefield, you're 15 friends, and you're off defending the line, and you're killing bugs, and they're piling on top of you, and you slowly start seeing the sky disappear. And you're like, I need a grenade, I need something to get out of there. But it's that feeling that you're probably going to lose the fight, but there's this chance, and the way the design team has built this chance of survival in every match, and the reliance on your teammates is just something I've not experienced in 40 years of gaming.
And it's 16 players?
16 players, 100%, yeah, for now.
You also have the special thing. You also have the special thing you can do where you can meet somebody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, are we talking about that today?
We're getting to
I don't know.
like,
Are we not talking
well, you're in the game. You're going to be in the game for console launch, and it's a huge part of our game.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get the cue. Sorry.
It's good. It's good.
But 2 winks is tell them.
Who's this person you could meet, huh?
Oh, well, we're bringing back General Rico. We've promoted him back in. We're about 23 years into the future. He's coming back in, and the goal when we looked at this as a team and what we want our solo experiences to be, it was really about, you know, bringing this iconic character back in, but not just to shoot off the one-liners that he's famous for, but also make him meaningful to the players coming into the game and saying, the moment you boot up our game, there's no doubt about it, it's a 16-player horde-based competitive shooter with your friends and, you know, strangers you make friends with, but we want to land them with the one character that matters the most in the universe, and that's Rico. And you start off with them, and you learn about the bugs, you learn about, and I can't spoil it because I probably will, because I'm notorious for spoiling secrets that we're working on.
No, go ahead. No.
But you can jump out, and you'll bid adieu to you. You go out into the main game, but you're more empowered and better prepared for that main game. And then when you come back in, he's there to welcome you back and put you back in harm's way. And, you know, you're a trooper, I can't go into details of what type of troopers.
Careful,
It's gonna be fun.
So for me, it was so much fun because I saw these guys. I went in and they were all so excited when I went up there in Off-World. They all had Starship Trooper shirts. Before I'd even gotten there, before they started the movie, they went and rented a theater and got all 120 of them to go watch the movie together. And there's team spirit. I go there, they have all these the toys, books, everything that you can think of, Starship Troopers. And then they would go, hey, they had asked me questions, and then they go, oh my God, so that happened in Starship Troopers? And I go, well, what were you doing? And I go, well, I was doing this, and I was carving this on my gun, and they're like, oh, we're putting that in. They like started putting details in that I'm not supposed to talk about, that I'm giving away. But then also there's even from Starship Troopers 3, there's a shovel that went through somebody, and they pulled that, I pulled it out. And
cut his mic.
They had that in
We have to cut his mic now.
They put in so many cool things. And what I appreciate about that is that they're real fans of the movie. They're really fans of gaming. They appreciate gamers, and they want to make it even more special for them. So it's not just making a game. It's making it so that everybody that is a real fan of gaming and of movies and of Starship and of the lore is going to get an experience that is, it's the best I've ever seen.
I mean, your passion is, we're sitting here and it's like the passion is infectious, but it's like, it's genuine. You're able to look around, like, this is I just keep calling this my grandma's basement that I turned into my sweet, cool gamer room, but you were just like, where's the Intellivision?
Yeah, I know.
Where's this? Like, where's this? Where's the Commodore 64? At least that's what I want.
Yeah.
In this place.
But I love games. I grew up and I had my kids doing that, and then I got into movies and I was doing more of that. My daughter plays games, and whenever I go with her, I'm playing games too. And we're literally going to go play tomorrow, do this. We got some codes. We're going to go and do this and get in there and
not reveal any more secrets.
I give up trying to control.
It only shows that that it feels like Casper is in it, really in it, is as excited that like you said earlier, like it's about like making sure it feels like it, even if that means like the smallest details to those who see it will see it.
And I have to be honest, one of the most rewarding moments was when we had Casper in the studio and we showed him the trailer that got revealed today for the first time. And all respect to Casper's acting abilities, I didn't feel there was any acting. It was this honest reaction. I keep comparing it to seeing my kids seeing commercials for Christmas toys and being like, oh, I want that one, I want that one. It was this real feeling of, oh, you did that and you put that in it. And I guess the story about the music as well. We didn't even know, so we put the trailer, the Scorpions' Rock You Like a Hurricane was the title track. And Casper then tell us this like immediate reaction that it was the first album he ever bought. And we didn't even know that. It was just this serendipitous moment.
I did one of those, when you buy a penny and you get 10 albums and then you have to buy it. So I put in, and it was the 10th album I picked was Rock You Like a Hurricane, the Scorpions, Love for Sting. So, and that album came, that cassette came, excuse me, it was the cassettes, 1 penny for a cassette back when I was a kid. And I got in so much trouble from my dad for doing that, but that's the first one that came, even though I had ordered a whole bunch of different ones, Van Halen, Journey, all these other things, but they came. I'm so thrilled to be, when they say, it was a genuine experience when I watched this, because Johnny Rico joins up the military because of a girl, and then he becomes a really good soldier, and he knows, now I'm good at something. And he wants to get the mission done, and he wants to be a good soldier. Well, he's had an arc through the series, and not everybody's seen that and everything. But in this, reading the script that he sent me, that he wrote, I went, Ed Newmeyer, who wrote RoboCop and Starship, would be so proud of him for what he wrote. And I went, the journey that you've taken Johnny Rico on to make him this guy that was a great soldier, now he's the best of the best, but his mission, even though he wants to get it done and complete, his mission is still, and even more so now, about bringing the mobile infantry back with him. He doesn't want them to die. So I like that he has more compassion for his troopers. And so you have 16 people you're gonna be working for. You're all trying to get back together. You have to work together to do this. You're gonna die and you're gonna come back as another trooper. You're gonna have all these things. But it's exciting for me. That's fun. I wanna do that. I don't wanna just, kill them, forget about them, whatever. Yeah. It's meaningful. You want people. And even more so, they have another thing. I'm going to give another secret. It's called
just plug your ears.
Sugar Watkins he was Seth Gilliam played him. He's on The Walking Dead, but he at the end goes, I go, what are you trying to do, Trooper? He goes, just trying to kill some bugs, sir. And then he blows them up in the nuke at the end of the movie. Well, they have a Watkins trigger in here. If you're going to die, you can blow yourself up and save people. They have the and they called it the Watkins trigger. Yeah. They honor it. They honor the movie. And they get gamers. Gamers are going to go nuts for that because they're going to be like, hey, you see that I love playing games too, and they love playing games. So that's the coolest thing in the world.
Well, that's the other thing. You'd mentioned, you know, like understanding the message of Starship Troopers and kind of like its satire. And when you're bringing this back and you're bringing in, you know, things that are canon, you know, things that like this is going to, you know, you're clearly like really in the weeds of it. You know, like how are you developing that or honoring that sort of like viewpoint, the things that that film was trying to say?
I mean, for me, it's all about. I mean, personally, it's all about the absurdity of war, right? It's just in the insanity of what the humanity is doing and how they're fighting this war, and the humor comes from the gameplay experience in our game, right? It's not about a massive budget of this big set piece that only happens once. Every time you play our game, something crazy happens and it's this humorous like death sequence and someone's killing this thing and gets completely destroyed and you're just about able to save them and just about able to extract, and you're using all the authentic weapons from the game and it just feels like you're in the movie. I know people say that all the time about IP games, but this is the first game that I've played and I've helped design that actually does feel like that. You know, like it's this really joyous experience about being kind of overwhelmed, but just hanging on enough. And we've got 6 classes, you progress through them, and it just unlocks more and more toys to play with and to destroy this bugs. Everyone loves killing bugs. It's just in our brains.
What, I mean, how do you even balance 16 players and, what you said 4 classes?
6 classes.
6 classes. Okay, 16 players, 6 classes. Like, how are you doing crowd control on knowing
I have a team of designers who are playtesting twice a week with 16 players, which is a lot of dev time.
Yep.
But we play and we live this experience, and it's not a job. It's a privilege. It's a privilege, right? Like, and so, yeah, for me, it's just a matter of like we just keep on adapting, and we have a community, we're early access, right?
Yes,
like, so
right,
we rely on that community to tell us like, this is broken, this is too hard, this is too easy, and that's a huge strength of our business, right? Like we wear that with pride, and we are always releasing this game, and we always will be, right?
Yeah.
This
yeah.
1.0 is just 1.0, and then it's going to be 2.0 and beyond. But that's our milestone in the sand right now. So I'm excited.
Tell them about when you first saw Starship Troopers.
When I was
I love how this is like a big. I love how this is like a big, like sort of like nostalgic moment where like all of us are just like geeking out and being super excited.
I was 16, and it was the first movie that I was like, I just went back immediately and saw it. Like I just needed to see it again.
Twice with no money.
And I had, I was 16, I didn't have any cash, and it's just one of those things where you're like, it was just that good, and I told all my friends, and I was obsessed with it, and I was a huge Paul Verhoeven fan as well, huge into B movies, and so it's just it's a dream come true to just. It's luck of the draw. It's just get the opportunity to work in Vancouver with this amazing team and with the man himself.
It's kind of funny because everybody on our team has a different experience when they saw the movie the first time. And I was sharing last night at dinner. I said, like, the first time I saw it was in French.
Okay.
And I barely understood it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I barely understood it. I'm an English Canadian, but barely understood it. But I understood the satire of it. I understood what he was going for. Then I immediately, soon after it came out in English, I watched it in English, and I watched it probably all 5 movies, and that one included probably over 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it was like my dad is a huge nerd, but when he saw this film, I was 7, so maybe a little too young. But my dad was always like, he was like, this is one of the most important films ever made. He's like, everyone should see this film. Like they have to even all the way to like Paul has done this in his other films like RoboCop, but like even like the fluidity of like gender is just existing in a space and just like working together, and it doesn't, as is. Sorry, you're gonna.
No, 100%. I agree with you 100%. Your dad sounds like a genius. But also, I mean, the inclusivity Starship Troopers has always been. It's always about inclusivity and trying to bring the troopers back. It's not like we don't care. Kitten dies, I go crazy. Shinjumi go. I'm trying to fight for all these people. We keep losing everybody, and that's the absurdity. That's the satire in it. But the satire in this is not lost in it at all. And unfortunately, sometimes the satire is still, in this political climate today, it's still even more prevalent than it was even back then. But it has been for this long. That's a genius of Paul Verhoeven and Ed Neumeyer, and they're both geniuses. So your father got it like that. I'm not joking around when I say some people didn't. But the English all did, by the way. It was just like they had in the tubes when I was going there, they had like, war, it's war! All these posters all down the tubes and tunnels, everywhere you went in the subways. It was just unbelievable. Their propaganda was just delicious.
Like on point.
Yeah, it was on point. It was like, because I didn't understand how anybody could miss it. And I'll tell you this, today's audience, the young kids that have seen Starship Troopers now, they go, there's no way anybody missed that. That's because
you would think,
but
that's like the poet, like that's like the beautiful poetry of that film, and like I know it's like the novel, of course, but like even RoboCop and like the ability to like I don't know, it's all I know is that it's kind of mind-boggling to think that it wasn't as like plain and simple to a lot, but I do think to its credit, like it's one of those things where I do think it can work really well with younger audiences, like purely just as like an over-the-top.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's an important part of how we've tried to honor the IP.
Yeah.
But we've also got to work on a game that's still fun for people who don't know what Starship Troopers is. And if that becomes their entry drug to then watching the movie and getting reabsorbed into the IP, that's great. But we're still trying to make a kick-ass game that you would enjoy just on the merits of it's a 16-player co-op game, horde shooter, tick all the boxes that you would want in a game. And you're excited to play it. So we're trying to honor it, but still not overly rely on the IP as the only way to sell this game.
Well, and mission accomplished. You guys did such a great job. They did. I mean, I'm so proud of it because I literally I watched all these other games come that were like Starship Troopers or
clearly inspired. You know,
clearly
would not exist without.
Yeah, 100%. So I've always gone. Why don't they just actually make the game that inspires all these other games? And now they did.
Yeah.
And they let me be a part of it. And I feel so honored and proud to be a part of it. And they treated me with so much respect and reverence. I was up there and I just couldn't believe how kind everybody was and how thoughtful. And the attention to detail, I cannot stress it enough.
Give us another one.
Yeah, I should. So there's.
I'm trying to think what's safe to say.
Definitely going to kill your character off in season 2.
You will be hated. You will be hated.
I mean, that was but it's like you've mentioned, it's ongoing. It's been in early access. You know, it's like we've been able. We have some games that have existed that are clearly inspired. Clearly trying to do this thing, but there is something exciting about knowing that this is going to be ongoing, and is there anything you're really like going into season 2, like, is there anything you can tell us? Like the intention, like the roadmap of what we're going to be expecting.
This guy leaks more than me.
So we do have a public roadmap, a living roadmap that we've had and shared with the community for over a year, and we continue to update it. So we have a robust roadmap. We have plans that go well into the future, at least 5 years worth of content. And we have a great partnership with Sony TriStar, like very collaborative on where we want to take the franchise, what new things we want to add, what things from the existing movies we want to bring in. Like in one update, we brought the Bombardier bug in. That's from movie 3. Obviously, we're bringing the tanker bug in soonish.
Whoa, this is the first time you said that.
Yeah, no, it's coming.
Wow.
That one's publicly out there.
I was going to mention. I was going to ask about those different bugs.
The tanker will be coming to our game in the near future. We've got big ideas for other technologies coming into the game that, our community is great. We have an open dialogue with our community on both Discord, Steam, Facebook, X, and we tend to, look at what they want.
Yeah.
And what we want to add to the game, and the roadmap is a very long one. We massage it a little bit. We change when we want to drop things in based on the community sentiment and stuff like that. But we plan to support this for many, many years to come.
Well, we do have to wrap it up, which is a travesty. Absolutely. It's just like, absolutely. I can't believe we're doing it.
I'm gonna give you
a
challenge coin. This is Johnny Rico's
Holy
challenge coin. I want you to have this. So here you go. Death from Above. Before we wrap it up,
I
want you to have that.
My soul just got up and I don't know oh my God.
Do you know about challenge coins? Usually they give them to the guys in the military, and I always try to do that to military guys. But this is my Johnny Rico one. So there you go. So Death from Above. Welcome to Roughnecks.
Well, thank you.
You'll have to come play with us.
I can die a complete man. So thank you very much. Yeah. So when is it officially? When are we going to be able to put into 1.0?
We're exiting early access on October 11th, 2024. So really soon.
And if you go in early access and you get to play with him, he gives out secrets all the time. and sometimes he's lying, but most of the time he's not. He just does it because he wants people to he wants to trick him. But he gives out secrets.
Not at all.
So if you find him, I'm just giving you another secret that's true.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to change my voice now and again.
Yeah, it won't work.
Obviously, we just want to remind people it's on console because people have been asking forever.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
And it will be cross-play. So you can play with your buddies wherever they are.
16 of them. Well, this has been a life-altering moment, so thank you very much for being here. You're watching GameSpot, you're watching GS Live. We just had a fantastic interview about Starship Troopers Extermination, but please stay tuned because it doesn't end there. We have tons of things, tons of people to talk to, tons of games, and even a day tomorrow to talk to even more games and all that jazz. So just, hang out with us here at GameSpot. All right, thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
We're just going down this whole thing. All right, see you later.